It's a morning edition here on Infamous Idiots.
Buenos dias.
Yeah, and we got the small insults here to try to wake us up without having to deal with
We
caffeine.
decided, exactly, no caffeine. So we think this might be a little better, but we're not entirely sure. I'm actually nervous again. It's like
I'll link our first time we ever did it.
It's like when you ask your girlfriend to do anal and she says yes, but you don't realize that she actually meant on you. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's how we're starting out.
That's how we're starting out. That's how that's
like
the type of morning.
First.
Do I?
Yeah, I think so.
That's enough, honestly. I don't think I want to do more. I don't want to do more.
Dude,
that's enough.
Smell insults are so bad, I swear.
Linger it there a little bit.
Woo.
I feel like that's enough.
No. Woo. I'm just really trying to wake up.
Without opening it.
Yeah, without opening.
Dude, you know what I was
guys
just rewatching?
It's so bad.
Do you remember?
My eyes are watering.
Dude, the episode that Joey Diaz did it on the JRE. Do you remember that meme where they're dancing to the Blade song?
Yeah.
You know he had smelling salts in his hand, and he was just like dancing around. That Joey Diaz is not a normal human being, and that man is gonna outlive us all. Honestly, he's gonna be here till the end of time.
His audio clip. He's like, you only need 3 motherfuckers to take over. I've seen that so many times.
That man
so many
hypes
badass
me
edits.
up.
I know.
Joey Diaz. I want to know about that man's life, and if he could be a narrator to my life, that would be amazing, right?
I feel it.
Yeah, dude.
It's so strong. It has so much more strength than it has any right to be sealed or at least tightened, really tight.
I feel like we should just take a little.
All right, let's do it.
We might as well.
I was getting in there. It's not as bad as it once was, but you can smell the potency. Is what I'm trying to.
So if you ever get just a bag like this, understand when you first open it and you whiff it, you're gonna get a strong whiff. But as time passes, it gets less
the
strong,
potency
right?
just goes down. As almost all.
But we haven't really used this since the first episode.
No, we've had PTSD because I mentioned I was like, "Should we?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
No.
I've been saying I don't want to do it. It's just not. But I think this is the time to do it. Honestly. Let's pop the cherry already. Enough foreplay. I'm actually so nervous again because How about this? How about we don't like?
No, don't
close your eyes.
Get in there.
No, I know,
Okay.
and don't forget.
I don't want to
close your eyes.
Last pod, I was fucked for so long.
Don't get this in your eyes, and we're not gonna linger on this very much. What are we, Charlie Sheen? No, no. So nervous. I'm so nervous. Okay.
Shit, dude. No, dude, no way. You weren't even close.
No, I'm not even joking. Oh,
dude, no way. That makes me so scared.
dude, if you do it just how I did it, get a little closer. Get a little closer.
I can smell it, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, that last one.
Oh, dude.
My eyes are instantly watering.
You went deeper than I did.
I know. I didn't want to be a bitch.
It's okay. Peer pressure doesn't work on me.
No, I'm not even gonna.
We're gonna put this.
It's a very minor peer pressure when it comes to smells. Because I mean, just go back and watch the first pod. I didn't recover at all that whole.
Another whiff.
Maybe a little later.
I think
my biggest issue with it is my eyes just get so bad.
We should really use that and work out after sometime.
Oh yes,
I
would be so down. I think it would be the best time, like right when we hit pads.
We should hit.
I was fucking
pads.
Exhausted. I feel like at that point when you've already when you've already gotten to your second wind and you're going now you're like my adrenaline's gone. All my glucose and my body's fucking gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when you need that bitch.
Dude.
Although I think it's meant for power lifters though.
Dude, if you use some smelling salts, if let's say you had a rough day of training and you're a fighter and you're like, I don't have that much energy to get my rounds in today. Mm-hmm. That's your energy, guy. That's your energy.
Do you think they're able to use it? They can't use it mid-round.
I'm just talking about like regular.
No. I know what you're talking about, but what I'm talking about is like, can you? I don't think you can use it in an actual fight.
No, I think it's illegal.
In other sports, you're allowed to.
Really?
Yeah, like in football, throw shade at it.
Playing with balls, whatever. So today we have a couple fun things to talk about. I think I just want to get it out right from the get-go. The boys. My goodness, every week they have just been coming out with bangers. I don't know how people have been saying that since the fourth season started. It's just been really slow and filler. I haven't felt that way at all.
I haven't felt that at all.
I have been. I felt that way about season 3. Actually, I felt like the first 3 episodes for season 3, I was like, "Let's get this going." You know, it's like they were edging me. You know,
I can see how you could feel like that.
Yeah.
I've personally never felt like that with the boys. I've always felt like it's always been at just the right pace for me to not for me to like, I guess, feel any type of boredom.
Do you know what I think it was for me for season 3 specifically was Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, because I was like, I'm so curious what they're gonna do with this character that I just wanted to see that character already. So maybe that's why those first 3 episodes felt that way for me. Like it's like when you're watching. It's like if you're a Daredevil fan and you don't really want to watch She-Hulk or Echo, you're like, but my boy Daredevil's there. Oh my god!
Honestly, actually, that's a perfect analogy because I felt that.
So I mean, like, if you like those series, by all means, more power to you.
No, She-Hulk was ass, bro.
Dude, I mean, okay, but here's the thing.
I can't speak on what was it. I forget what the other one was that you said. Echo. I didn't watch Echo. She-Hulk was terrible.
Echo was.
I don't even. You know what I mean?
Wasn't bad.
Anyways, let's talk about a good show.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about The Boys. And we're talking about how they just keep doing our boy Huey so dirty. He's been going through an emotional couple of days, man. I really like their own Web Weaver was just not what I expected. Also, can we talk about how MM gets like the worst of all of the boys? Like, he got that long ass schlong on his neck in season 2 or 1?
He got the spider web on his
Oh my god. And then you forget season 3, the Hero-gasm literally got splashed with cum just everywhere. Which I would have, first of all, that's an ungodly amount. Second of all, I would have left. I would have quit the job right then and there. I'm like, this isn't the job. Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Their hatred for soups is just beyond what I can even fathom.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that would make me hate a soup even more. How dare you?
That's true.
How dare you shoot that much cum at me without consent? Rude.
It's
Yeah, dude. And then Web Weaver just basically queefs the spider web in MM's face. Oh my god. Dude. I would have thrown hands.
Yeah.
If I was MM. I don't know how. MM has this ability to hold back that I wish I had in my life. Because it is ridiculous how much this man has. That's why you get those hives. Oh my god. I love it.
He's going through it. He's in his own. Now he had an anxiety attack.
Panic attack.
You know what I mean? It was just like
really bad panic attack.
And like, I don't know. He's just going through it. He's just like Huey, but in a different way. He's just going through his own demons.
But you know what's so good about The Boys is that you care about the boys.
Yes.
Like, also, I am kind of upset they sidelined my boy Frenchie, but also I kind of understand that's his arc. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, what the fuck are they gonna do to my boy Frenchie in there?
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like my least favorite part of The Boys so far has been Frenchie's, or at least in this season, has been his whole, arc. Essentially, like, he had a lover that just came out of nowhere, like, and then, like...
Or maybe you're a homophobe.
No, that's not what it is at all.
I'm just kidding.
I just prefer...
It's not. When there's a lead up to a romantic interest. To me,
like I said, I thought he was with...
Kamiko.
Yeah, I thought he was with Kamiko. This whole time, I thought they were together. Or, I shouldn't say together, but I thought he was like, they were trying to work towards it.
Yeah,
she has PTSD, and she's going through it as well. And he's trying to work. That's what I thought this whole time. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, this is what, this is what we're doing. Okay, I'm fine with it. But it just felt like a surprise. And also just the same, I knew he already had dealings with the mob and where he would work for them.
Little Nina.
Yeah, but it also was like, you know, just the whole arc of him just being like, oh, he's supposed to be, he feels some type of guilt towards this person. I don't even know the character's name, but like, and then he leads him to turning himself in.
But you know what? I think all of that is also a it's a tipping point. I think Frenchie's getting to the point where he might not want to be in this business anymore. And I think that's a catalyst. He's like, oh my God, like this person that I cared about, like I did something bad and the repercussions of my actions are following me. And now he's probably wondering in his head, like, how much more of this life do I have left? That's how I'm interpreting it. Also, I don't blame him. I mean, homie got brothers owned by Kimiko, you know, so
True.
So, you know, he had to move on somehow.
True.
I think, in my opinion, I think for me the least interesting has been the Kimiko's little arc that she had with that one chick.
Yeah,
that's pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, that's
which I'm kind of glad, but you know, to be honest, I kind of, if they're going the way I think they might be going with Frenchie, then I'm all for it. But they have to have payoff in these next 2 episodes.
Yeah. And there's only 2 more episodes, right?
There's only 2 more episodes, man.
Dude, the last 3 have been bangers, bro.
Dude, honestly, the last episodes, this whole season has been very amazing, very phenomenal.
Yes.
And one thing I like about The Boys a lot is not just the boys that you care about all the characters, but also they introduce new characters that you wind up being like, that's actually super cool. Because I mean, Sister Sage is another character that I think is super interesting and so badass.
Yeah,
I actually thought she died in this episode.
I didn't think she did because I
remembered
the lobotomy.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna ask you, do you think she would be like, I forget what character it is. I think it's from DC, but it's like a brain, or maybe it's from just maybe I'm trying to think of Brainiac. Brainiac actually has like a body, doesn't he?
Yeah, Brainiac is extraterrestrial.
Okay, but there's something that I maybe it's from a cartoon or something, but there's like a being that just has like a floating brain and like a tube, and that's how it exists outside of its external body. I wonder if that's something that they're gonna do.
I swear to God, that was in Teen Titans.
Was
that
in
character
Teen
was in
okay.
Teen Titans.
I feel like I remember.
I know
some
what you're
kind
talking
of character
about.
Like this that it now continues to live on, but just out of their external body. And I feel like that's something that they're gonna do with her, because it kind of makes sense that, I mean, she took a bullet to the brain. I mean, hey, kudos to him. He had his first shot right there.
But you know what? I also don't blame him, dude. When you, I knew as soon as she brought up his daughter, I'm like, this bitch is dead.
Yeah,
like you know,
I thought he was gonna shoot her in the heart. That's what I thought
he should have done.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew.
No, I don't think he did either.
I think had he known, he probably would have gone for the kill shot for sure. But actually, I love that about is that he's very calm until he hits a tipping point, and his tipping point is his daughter. You know, he like, and I like, even in the last episode with all the fucking llamas and shit, he tells Billy like, I'm going home to my daughter. And I know that you're okay with that because you're not a cold-hearted fuck like you pretend to be. Like, you're a motherfucker, but you got a heart, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, again, dude, that's just a testament to how good of writing this show has, dude. So good, and, dude, so I wanted to give you a little history on Tech Knight, because I don't... So Tech Knight in the comic, he's actually dead. It's a lot similar, because if you remember in the show, they say he has, like, a tumor, and, like, he's really into just fucking any hole, right?
Yeah.
So in the comic, he's basically goes into outer space because there's a meteoroid coming to Earth, right?
Okay.
And he sees like a little hole in the meteor, a little crevice. I think you might know where I'm going with this. And he goes and he fucks it, and he saves the Earth by fucking the asteroid.
Okay.
But turns out actually what had happened was he had saved this woman and child from this something falling on them. And what had happened was that thing fell on his head, and he just imagined that whole thing before he died.
Oh. Okay.
But that's essentially his death.
Okay.
I wanted to get your reaction of him fucking an asteroid, essentially.
I was like, dude, the comics for the boys just sound so bizarre and wild. It just feels like it feels like something it feels like a fever dream. Like something I'm just so sick. I'm in bed and I'm just like having these awkward, weird dreams, and I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, dude.
What is my subconscious doing?
The Boys is something I feel like I would write when I'm like 10 and I thought it was edgy. Yeah. For sure. I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. Imagine he just goes up into space and fucks it. Saves the world.
That's crazy.
What a way.
That's crazy that was a thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, dude.
So I was going to say, how do you get in space? He can't fly or anything. He's a detective.
No, he has a suit. He's like Iron Man.
Oh,
he doesn't really. You just don't really see the suit in The Boys.
Okay.
He's very much that, like, Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne amalgamation.
Yeah, he has that
and he's got that insane
money.
Sherlock Holmes superpower where he can, like, sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can hear your heartbeat or some shit like that.
Like pick up on your tendencies when you start sweating.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. Like, his ability to do that is pretty cool. He's just a shitty person.
Horrible human being.
Yeah.
Horrible human being.
And I like the camera effect of it, like, you know, and like zooming in and like, you know, you hear the heartbeat and see the sweat.
Mm-hmm.
I like that little touch.
Yeah, the thing about is like they are really good at placing shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think another shot I really like. I know you're not gonna believe me, but I like the shot that they placed where a Homelander is on Firecracker, breastfeeding, but it's his cape, and he has the American flag on his wall, and both of those go in tandem, and I thought that shot was done really well. Yeah, so I mean, I swear that's the only reason.
Yeah, that's the reason.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
Okay. Off camera, he's been going off about
off camera. I'm like, Homelander,
you lucky bastard.
Got milk?
I mean, his reaction is just so priceless, dude. I've seen it all over Twitter, over
But wouldn't
TikTok.
that be your reaction? Like,
oh yeah, you're just, you know,
she did it for me?
Yeah, exactly.
That's love.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And dude, she got Homelander hook, line, sinker with that shit, dude. I can't blame him for that at all. Cause
and what about the head popper stepping in for him to like pick up his slack?
Dude,
he was fumbling.
Yeah, dude,
he was fumbling in front of those executives and higher ups. He was fumbling bad, and she just took it and ran with it. And now I'm wondering, because we didn't really get to see what their plan was, and I wonder if she took it to do her own plan.
I think she came in to save it because as she has to save face with Homelander.
True.
She needs to keep up that repertoire, but a part of me feels like she's got something scheming with Stan Edgar behind their back.
I feel that as well.
I really do feel that.
I felt like it was just
it's only a matter of time before Newman gets to be president, and there's only a matter of time before her and Homelander are at odds. I genuinely
agree with that. But what I guess more I was trying to say is that like Homelander struggles in those those pressure moments when they're like, well, what about this? What about this? You know, that whole technical side, and I feel like she kind of gained some power, you know, like power back, because like. Let's be honest. His is more like, I'm gonna laser you. I'm gonna brutally kill you. It's his mentality.
Intimidation based off fear and based off violence.
Versus
he only knows
intimidation is gonna be off of like
wordplay, being good with her words and getting what she wants. Actually, another thing,
manipulating him to do what she wants.
Exactly. Another thing I really loved was that Sage and Newman moment that they had, where she's like. Sage explains that she found the cure to her grandmother's cancer, but they didn't pay attention to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, we got to do we have to do what we as women have to do at the end of the fucking day to live in this world, in this time, against these people. And I'm like,
those are fucked up people,
dude. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, at that point, I was on their side, because I'm like, I fucking get it, dude.
Well, dude, that's one thing that the show does so well. It gets you to sympathize with both sides. You sympathize with both sides, and you're just like, well, fuck. You know
you're just like, shit, dude. And I'm really curious to see how far Sister Sage's experiment, her Roman Empire experiment, is gonna go. And it's gonna go fucking bad, and I think we all know that, honestly. It's only a matter of time till it's a massive shitstorm, and I genuinely cannot wait for that.
I mean, it's gonna be an exciting finale, bro.
Yeah. Also, I want to touch upon how much of a piece of shit all those people were at that party.
Oh my god!
And Tech Knight specifically, for the variety of reasons, but I can't get over the fact that do you remember that moment he tells A-Train? He's like, "Yeah, my ancestors were slave catchers."
Yeah,
or something like that.
They were something like that. They had their own plantation.
They had their own plantation essentially, and it's like, yeah, A-Train would have given them a good run for their money, but they would have caught you eventually. I was like, Dude, I would have ran out that bitch, dude.
Oh
no, dude.
When they had him strapped and they're like, well, how did we hurt a billionaire? And they're just giving it to all these foundations.
Yeah,
and he's just screaming in agony.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold back my laugh.
Dude, and then when Newman, like, literally, in her head, she blows her own head up, like, being mansplained by this fucking dude.
That dude was awful, bro. I was like, Jesus
God.
Christ.
Dude, honestly, I wouldn't have been... I would have rooted for her if she decided to blow everyone's head in there. Mm-hmm. I would have been completely okay with that, honestly. It would have been better.
Yeah.
What's another thing, really good thing, a highlight for this episode for you?
A highlight? I forget the secretary's name. But her whole sequence of what she was doing to Huey was just hilarious. And Huey at the end, it was just like when he was with Starlight.
He's like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Dude, the look on his eyes of like innocence is now taken.
Yeah.
And it's been taken long ago.
At this moment, it's taken.
Yeah. He's like, I'm
all the shit he's seen.
And the shit he's done, too.
Exactly. And now at this moment, he's like, oh my God.
That's too far. World. Yeah, it's too far. Which I fucking get it.
Yes.
I do want to touch on the subject. I don't necessarily think that they're making fun of SA at all.
Well, it's just satire.
Yeah,
right?
but I think that they are playing it in a way to where it's like when you're in too deep a cover, you can't really blow your cover as much as people don't want to, really go into that aspect.
I mean, that happens in real life.
Yeah, and like if in a real life situation you don't want your cover blown, so you kind of unfortunately you have to go as far as you need to go to keep your cover. Not like we're spies or anything. We're only assuming that you know.
I'm just assuming.
I mean, I'm Batman at night, but that's okay. Anyways, okay. and our theory was true of Billy.
Yes.
We had theorized that. Well, at least I know I did that. Yeah. I think that the V had basically juiced up his tumor in some way or another, and that's why he's hallucinating. Yeah. And I love the little callback that he did. He's like, and don't you worry, Billy, my boy, Daddy's home. And I was like, no one else, like, if you had anyone else delivering that Daddy's home line other than Billy, it would have been really hard. But you got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you got fucking Negan to come in there and be like, Daddy's home. Cinema, dude. Jeffrey Dean Morgan in any role he's in, dude.
Negan got me. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I really wasn't.
When he's like, shut the fuck up, you bitch.
I was like, wait. Oh my God. Like everything just started clicking. And I feel like I usually could pick up on things like that pretty quick. But like it just made sense that they would be in their own cahoots together while they're doing their own thing. Why he doesn't need to interact with anyone. You know, that just goes back to the writing, man. Them setting it up properly, them doing it well.
They were also really giving me Fight Club vibes in the beginning.
Yes, that is.
There's just little things. I think
because I've seen a lot of Fight Club going around lately for some reason.
I was gonna say, I think because I've seen Fight Club a little one too many times that I can kind of see the little hints now if they're doing something similar with the 8 character.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan is amazing in any role that he's in. I actually do think that Negan's probably one of the best villains in TV history. And I think that his I just loved his performance.
When they killed Glenn in The Walking, I mean, that's when I stopped watching Walking Dead. But that episode was just so good, and like the way that they killed him was so creative. Like I wasn't somebody that watched read the Walking Dead comics, but just that whole depth, and that was really at the peak of The Walking Dead and their prosthetics and the way that they were willing to go. Like it was just so brutal. His brains falling out of his head.
It's probably one of my favorite death scenes.
Yeah, it was really good.
A character.
And Negan's dialogue is what's just like, oh my God.
You know what's annoying is that I just wanted to hear that man keep talking. I'm like, please keep, like, he was so charming, so charismatic. Yeah, man. And there's 2 versions of Glenn's death. There's like the edited TV version, and then there's the unrated version where he's kind of just cursing a lot more because in the comics he's cursing up a fucking storm all the time. So
I would imagine you would in the end of the world.
Yeah, and so in that he's kind of like You know, he's like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of one of you. And then the other version, I think it's something like, I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you. So you can kind of see the minor differences. Yeah. I prefer the foul mouth version because I feel like he's not holding back. I'm right there with you. You know? Yeah. But like, yeah, dude, like I said, it just
feels more off the cuff.
And this is what's upsetting. You had Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He could have been a Flashpoint Batman with guns that kill people.
Seriously.
You had the casting and you didn't use it. Ugh, that's upsetting. Anyways,
I fully agree with that.
There's a whole other rant for another day.
I'm full in support.
But yeah, dude, what would you rate this episode? I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm honestly not. I'm not gonna disagree. 9 out of 10. It was like a 9 out of 10.
So
if someone
good.
said a 10 out of 10, I'm not gonna argue with you. It was so good.
It was just. It's the thing. I really like Prime's model of the way they do their first season releases, because I think that's the perfect way to do it. You give the binge watchers enough to binge 3 episodes, and then you make us wait weekly for each episode for the rest of the season, because most of the time it's like 8 episodes per season, which is perfect for quality television. And I think that formula works, man, because we're diving deep, we're doing all these things that make TV great. And I think there is some people are right, when you binge watch a show, you don't really get to analyze it and enjoy it fully. But when you have these breaks and these weeks in between, you have all these theories. You get to talk about it with friends, and
dude,
it does make things
forward to talking
so
with you
more.
on the pod. I'm like, oh my god, the boys, bro, it's just been crazy. Like I agree with you. I'm not really the biggest binge watcher. I mean, I can if I have the time, but I agree with you. I think the model that they do of like releasing 2 to 3 episodes and then just periodically doing it by week, it's just, I've always liked the week by week. It's just been my preferred model of doing it, just because of like the way I consume media. I like to sit down and watch it. I don't like to like watch it on my phone or like have it playing on the background. Like I like to sit down and watch things when I want to watch.
I agree. I'm usually waiting for like midnight for the fucking boys episode. I'm like, when is it out?
I get on and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it for me, and it's already watched. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
He's almost never watched an episode before me.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever. I think it was season 3. That was the only one.
Yeah, I think it was like the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it was like the very
beginning of it. And after that, I was always like on top. Just like, dude, Soldier Boy was.
Yeah, I know.
Such a delight. Such a treat.
His man crush of this century.
Dude, 100%. If Jensen Ackles isn't your man crush, that man is gorgeous. And I can admit that. Just like Michael B. Jordan is, okay?
I'm not disagreeing at all. You know what I mean? I'm very comfortable with my sexuality, so I'm fully okay with being like, yeah, that dude's very attractive, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Michael B. Jordan, I would. Him and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is eternal man crush. Yeah. He's just the eternal man crush. Like, I'm not gay, but
if he did a little,
I might. If he's got the Deadpool suit on, I might.
Exactly. I was just gonna say.
You gotta have to, honestly.
He's in character. He got me just like that. I'm wrapped around his little finger. You know what I mean? I'm like, do you have breast milk?
Oh my god, we didn't even get to that on the episode, dude. Ladies, if you want to get a man hook, line, and sinker, you just gotta do what he's really into, and if he's really into breast milk, take some pills.
You guys gotta give sacrifices to
exactly. It's a give and take relationship.
I'm in full support of that.
But honestly, his reaction when when Homelander got the firecrackers breast milk,
I think that's everyone's reaction.
Yeah, I was like, I had Homelander. I was like.
Yeah.
You did that for me?
And what's funny is he messaged me firecracker as it was like happen, like it literally just happened where I was in the episode where I was watching. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, and then he immediately texted, he's like, so what about firecracker? I was like, yo, dude, the timing of this is wild.
Yeah, I was like, yo, firecracker though. I want some milk. No, I'm just kidding. Slightly. Anyways. Yeah, dude, it's a phenomenal episode, another phenomenal season of The Boys. And I think once it comes down to it, I think that The Boys is gonna be one of like the best pieces of superhero media out there. Once it's all said and done. Once it's all said and done.
The shots that they took of Marvel and DC already in the previous episode. That was so funny.
I got my mom to watch the first episode of The Boys.
Oh yeah.
And she thought it was so
she's
hilarious.
Watched the previous ones then.
No, like the pilot episode.
Oh, you're talking about
the very first pilot episode. Because I was also kind of curious, you know. I was like, it's been a while, and it obviously still holds up.
Yeah,
you know that first episode is just
Wasn't
so
it really?
great.
It was released in 2019, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019, and it's just.
I remember when I first watched when he first showed it to me. I was in just when his girl got blown up on A-Train. It just shocked the fuck out of me.
Did we watch that together? Or did you just watch it?
No, you watched it and you were like, you have to watch this.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, Prime Video. I was like, okay. It's like it was early days of Prime. Like it was really early. Like
this is pre-Breacher, pre-Invincible, and we could honestly.
I think there was only a few things on there that were decent to watch.
Yeah, and this was
they didn't have any other real original content.
Yeah, The Boys really made it a household name, if you ask me.
I totally agree.
You know, and then they kind of went on from there. You were like, oh, dude, Prime Video can put out some fucking bangers.
Now,
dude.
if you look at their lineup, just what they've done this year. It's so much. You're just like, wow. Like they're coming out swinging. You know what I mean? Won championships on there. Like they're doing things that I like. Football's also on there. If you're
Amazon Prime also, if you're a boxing fan, they're selling the PBC. You know, so that's where we watched the Canelo Munguia fight. And yeah, like you said, one championship. If you have Prime Video and you're super curious about watching some badass actual action martial arts, one championship on Prime Video is so amazing.
I just like the model. Like I said, I know it. Like what I was saying is, it took some time to get to where, like, get off the ground and running.
Yeah,
but to me, it's done so much better than say something like Disney Plus that thought they were the shit and they were like, we're gonna be profitable by 2024, and look where they're at now. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's just they took the right approach. Like we got to have our own original content while also having some things that that are licensed.
Do you know what I just rewatched on Disney Plus?
What?
Twice actually. Because I didn't know that it was Werewolf by Night. They released the in color version. Actually,
I did not even know they did that.
It is so awesome because it's like it gives off the 70s aesthetic color vibe. It still has those cut. It still has that old timey feel. Yeah. But it has like really good cinematography.
I'm a sucker for that type of shit.
It's good. It's good. But I actually watched Werewolf by Night with my son. And he liked it actually, but he was like monsters. He's like it's kind of scary. he hung up to me, dude, and then he saw the werewolf just killing everybody. He was like, oh.
He's making me want to rewatch it. We watched it when it came out.
You should rewatch it.
Dude, I remember it being just being badass. Well, and awesome.
Even the black and white version is so good. It's so good. Like the aesthetic, the feel to it, and also the transition into color at the end.
What has that director done?
That's Michael Giacchino. He was a composer. He composed the Batman. He's composed the Star Trek movies.
Okay.
Which iconic.
The last trilogy, right?
Yes, the last trilogy. That soundtrack is iconic.
Star Trek Beyond is under fucking rated, bro.
Thank you.
That shit is.
Thank you.
Actually, that trilogy is under fucking rated.
He for the longest. When did you watch Beyond?
I watched it when you told me to go watch it. I saw it in theaters.
You saw it in theaters?
Yeah, because you were like, bro, you have to go see this. This movie was so good. Because I remember, I think we were talking shit about it, if I remember correctly.
You were. I wasn't. I was defending it.
I'm talking about before. Before the movie came out, I feel like we remember talking shit about it.
No,
being
you
like,
did.
The promotion. Hold on, the promotion.
Okay.
God, he just doesn't let me talk.
Sorry,
it was like,
I'm really hyped.
No!
I'm really hyped.
You know what I mean? But, like, I remember, like, the promotion, because, like, I was, like, I didn't even know the movie was coming out. And he told me to go watch it. He was like, it's really good. It's, like, super underrated. And I think me and my mom went to go watch it. And I just remember being like, the part that I remember the most is like the dirt bike scene. I think it's the ending of the movie. That shit was awesome, bro.
Close to it.
That shit was so cool. I was like, what? I was like, they're doing this?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, it makes me, I want to rewatch it. I actually watched the first one not that long ago.
I have it on Blu-ray.
See, I would be so down to rewatch it.
That is a buy. I'm sorry, because also, I understand why some Star Trek fans may not like the second one because it's a rehash of Wrath of Khan, and a lot of people who are Trekkies say Wrath of Khan is like the best Star Trek movie, which I get, you know. But you have to understand, we weren't Trekkies.
No.
I wasn't a Trekkie.
Nope.
And these movies got me into the lore and got me to be like, oh, dude, Star Trek is actually fucking badass.
Yeah, it was really
you know,
badass,
and it really painted it in a different light for me. And don't get me wrong, I still haven't seen the original movies and trilogy. I do plan on getting to it eventually. But I also love what I was introduced to in this Kelvin timeline, which is the trilogy we're talking about with Chris Pine. Also, Chris Pine underrated. Please cast him in a good superhero movie. Anyways.
I feel like the Star Trek is very similar. The way I view Star Trek is the same way I view Planet of the Apes, where I like the newer trilogy. That's what got me into. Because I think I watched the first one I ever watched was the Mike Wahlberg one.
Mark Wahlberg one?
Yeah, I did that one. I mean, I remember being.
I don't remember it.
I just remember
that movie feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, but look, I will not go back and watch the older ones. Maybe the first.
He's not a cinephile like that. He's not a cinephile like that.
No, it's not that. It's just like
he's just not. He won't even sit down and watch like A Clockwork Orange with me or.
Okay, but Clockwork Orange is different though.
Also, he has Taxi Driver, and he's never even watched it.
How many movies do you have that you haven't watched?
That's not the point. I'm talking about you.
It is the point.
Actually, no. That's not true.
Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean? So we can go back and forth on this. There's
fair.
plenty of movies. You know what I mean?
But every single movie I own, I have seen once. That is a guaranteed.
That's true.
And I think you're the only person I know that has a movie and is like actually haven't even taken it out of its package.
There's
don't even lie.
But most of them I've already watched though. Texted I have taken out. It's just I don't know.
And he hasn't even watched it. Oh my god.
I just haven't had the mood to be like, you know what, I need to sit down and watch this.
It is. And I will say it is a mood because it's a dark movie.
Yes, but see, that's what I know. I know it's a very dark.
But don't be a bitch.
But see, I need to be in that mindset. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with dark movies. I just need to be there and feel.
I need to be in the dark. Okay.
Just got my eyeshadow. Just got to start putting it on. Wear my sunglasses inside.
Listen to Something in the Way by Nirvana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to go full. Why did I just fucking forget his name?
Pattinson?
Yes. Full Pattinson on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know how we just went on to Star Trek and all that shit. But
well, because that trilogy is just underrated. And
no, it super is.
Refuse.
Would you say the Weak Link is the second one? Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think it's the less original one. Because if everyone, I haven't seen Wrath of Khan, but if everyone is saying it's essentially just a remake of Wrath of Khan, then I don't like it that it didn't break new grounds. I liked 1 and 3 the best because they're really doing their own thing, and also kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's
no. I'm totally agree. I mean,
they're just doing their own thing.
The only thing I really remember from it is when they're like on like the space freeway and they're like jumping from car to car. That's the only part.
Okay, here's the thing. Star Trek Into Darkness isn't a bad movie. People are just telling me it's a remake of something that came before that's already better. But I've only seen Into Darkness, so I don't mind it. It's a good movie to me. It's very enjoyable. If you put it on, I'll probably watch it and enjoy it.
And then
I do like Benedict Cumberbatch as the villain. I guess my only gripe about that movie too is like if it was a remake, damn. But also, I would have preferred to have seen Captain Kirk fight Khan.
Yeah,
that's just me personally.
But
I like that
the original was though. Was that the original where?
So the original was switched. In the original, from my understanding, Spock is the one that died. That was in Captain Kirk's. But the thing is though, Wrath of Khan ends with the death, and they, if I remember correctly, they shoot Spock's body out into space because he died, and then Into Darkness they bring him back with Khan's blood, right? But I like the third one. That's where they go downhill from what I've understood. Like they go searching for his body or some shit because he's not really dead. I don't fucking know, but yeah, I just really like the first and third one a lot more. They do, and honestly, I prefer the Kelvin trilogy to the Star Wars trilogy that just came out.
Dude, that thing's
would watch that.
It's hot diarrhea.
I would watch
It's actually
that.
hot diarrhea. I wanted to watch it.
Force Awakens does. I was like rewatching a little bit of it, and it doesn't have any rewatchable qualities in my opinion. Because it really is just A New Hope. I think that we were so blinded with like love goggles because we were finally getting Star Wars after not having something for so long.
Yeah.
And then we get that, and we're like, okay,
and
with
now we
it.
have too much.
And yeah, now it's just too much, and now it's
like I refuse to watch The Acolyte now. I'm just like I've seen too many things where I'm like,
I don't know if I want to.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And like my mom, she was telling me, she's like, it's so good, you should watch it. And I started telling her, I was like, no, this is what they've done wrong. They've undone so many things towards Anakin's arc that just doesn't make sense. It basically contradicts everything. Yeah. And also, why would you go High Republic when you have the Old Republic? Have you watched the Old Republic like cutscenes for the video game?
Yeah,
bro, they're amazing. So epic.
They're amazing.
They're so epic.
I'm actually gonna I might irritate you right now, but the creators of The Acolyte were like, we want to tackle the Old Republic next. You're I don't. Please don't. Like, just give it to someone.
Yeah. I just seen so many things about it, and honestly, like I was already starting to get this like a very similar like Marvel fatigue in terms of just like where they were going.
This is my counter argument to like fatigue whether it's superhero or Star Wars. I argue you're not tired of that franchise. You're tired of mediocrity in that franchise, and you're tired of too much of that franchise.
I can't argue with that.
Because at the end of the day, there's so much of this content. Will you agree?
Yes.
That we have seen every blueprint to every superhero movie that could be done. Mm-hmm. Now we're getting to a point where people are starting to realize that comic books are actually different genre stories, and they are, instead of embracing that, they kind of have this shitty formula that they tend to follow. Mm-hmm. Like, I know you kind of enjoy. I think you've kind of accepted the fact that Thor: Love and Thunder isn't a good movie.
No, I know it's not a good movie.
But you're like, it's just a dumb movie. I turn my brain off.
I can turn my brain off and enjoy it for what it is. Now, I'm not over here saying that it's better than fucking like Ragnarok. I'm not saying it because Ragnarok is fucking an S tier.
I love Ragnarok too, but I still have my gripes with it. But
I'm just talking about in terms of like where the Marvel movies are. It's definitely up there. Like, what would you even say the best Marvel movie is in your opinion?
Infinity War.
Infinity War? Okay.
Hands down.
I was gonna say mine's Infinity War and Winter Soldier. Those are the only two that I have in S tier.
I actually 100% agree with that.
Yeah, those are the only two I have in S tier.
I'd say Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is what you have in your S tier?
Yeah. Like, these are definitely my top 3.
Okay.
There's been so
there's been a lot of movies.
I feel so like shitty. Iron Man.
Oh yeah, the first
Iron Man is the best.
Okay,
you have to put that up there.
I'm gonna say it's S tier for sure.
It's definitely top 5.
Right. There's just been so many movies. It's been like.
But that's what I mean, though.
Bro.
We've seen every single variation of a superhero movie that Hollywood thinks they can come up with.
I would say Shang-Chi is the best iteration that they've come up with in the recent 5 years.
I agree. I really love Shang-Chi.
It was so good.
Shang-Chi was awesome.
And also, I think there's part of it. It's like me going in somewhat with low expectations.
You went to Shang-Chi with low expectations?
Just because of like, I try not to follow too much of like the media, like what people are saying about it, like pre-reviews, and I watch like the first trailer, maybe the second trailer, and that's it. And I try to go in with my own opinion. And I think I was just more, I don't know. I didn't really like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I thought it was gonna be something like that.
I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's why I'm like,
I'm not saying it was like, oh my god, it was terrible, but like, I don't know, the ending to me, it started off really good, but also that show got
about
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That shit got rewritten and reshot and everything. To me, it had a really good trajectory, and then it fell down.
Have you seen like leaked photos of Sam Wilson's Captain America suit?
No, I haven't.
So it's very closer looking to like Cap's actual suit. Mm-hmm. And I was actually just gonna ask you which one you prefer.
I haven't seen it though.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, then fuck. But I'm just saying.
I did like this white one. Isn't that also from the comics?
Yeah, that is. I don't know why they changed it though. Because
I did like that one.
In my personal opinion, I think that kind of helps differentiate the two captains.
Yeah, that's.
And I feel like it helps him stand on his own as Captain America, and not just as a mimic of Captain America with wings. That's which this new suit is giving that vibe. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I don't like it. But I'm actually really excited to see what they do. I'm really excited. I hope that they come out with a banger Captain America movie, because I think that they
so nice, dude.
Absolutely have big shoes to fill. Yeah,
if we could get something like Winter Soldier, that'd be so nice.
Dude, like I'll even settle for like Civil War, honestly.
Yeah, Civil War was pretty
Civil War was fine. If you're just gonna make Captain America movies just like minor Avengers movies, then I feel like that's just where they're gonna go with them, honestly.
I could see that. I could definitely see that being the route.
I'm not against, but I'm also like, but the Winter Soldier, that didn't really deal with a lot of heavy Avengers stuff, but that still like was an amazing movie. Even though if you think about it, Winter Soldier you could have taken out of that story, and the entire story would have still unfolded in the exact same way.
True,
but
I could see that.
I would still argue against that there's still like a lot of emotional stakes in that movie.
Well, I think what made that movie what made Winter Soldier so good is that it was way more grounded than any of the other ones.
And the action sequences?
Yeah, they were tight, top tier. And they were fighting with the knife, and they're like dropping it down.
Dude, you knew you were getting a very different Captain America movie when the first 15 minutes started. When Captain America, when Captain America started fighting George St. Pierre, I was like, "Yo, this shit is sick."
Yeah. I forgot about that.
They should do that again.
Yeah,
because he came back for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was like.
And he should have came back again.
Because the part I remember the most is when he kicks that dude and he like
falls off the boat. Yeah,
he's like, ding, and it was like, whoa,
dude,
like, is he dead?
They should get Kamara Usman, Francis Ngannou, or Izzy as like a Black Panther villain. I know Usman was in Wakanda Forever for like a brief second. He was in Wakanda
Forever. I still haven't even seen Wakanda Forever, so I need to watch that.
Really?
I didn't watch it because it was like, I don't even remember what was happening at the time. It just didn't.
A lot.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot.
Just life, dude.
Yeah, a lot was happening. That is true.
That time, because it was still very heavy during the time of the pandemic. So
yeah, it was.
I think that we kind of were just like, we didn't want to go out. I remember.
Yeah, I just didn't watch it, and then I want to go back and watch it, but I just haven't had the time. I mean, I'm already struggling to catch up on the boys as is. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm trying to keep up to date with that because I'm like, I don't want to run into spoilers. Because this is what I hate. I hate when if you get behind on something or you haven't seen a movie yet,
spoilers,
and you just see spoilers like the first time you hop on TikTok or something, it's just right there. You're like, well, fuck.
Twitter's the absolute worst with it,
yes,
too.
It's terrible, bro. Mm-hmm. It's so bad.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about spoilers for the most
part. I know you don't, but
so.
I do. I try to go in with clarity in my mind.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. But since we're on the topic of UFC fighters, you had a very interesting thing that you came up to me that you wanted to propose, right?
Yes, I'm
very intrigued what you have written down. I'm gonna let you go for. I'm gonna let you.
Well, I want to bounce off of each other first because I wanted to do.
I'm gonna whip it out.
The current. What about the Johnson, the 45? Well, I wanted to talk about. Let's actually set up. I wanted to talk about the best strikers in the UFC currently, the top 10. I have my top 10 already made. You have
yours in list? Like
yes, they're in the list. We were going to start from 10. Yes, we're going to start from 10.
I don't know if mine aren't in order.
Okay, just start from who you think will be in 10. Or let me go first, and then you can kind of, figure it out a little bit.
How about you say you're 10?
Well, okay,
and then we'll just
my 10 right now is Peter Yan. I think he's the 10th best striker in the UFC.
I don't have him on mine. I feel shitty for not writing it down.
Really, you don't have it on him?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest.
I was really worried I was gonna
made this last minute, and I feel so shitty for not adding him onto this.
Okay, well I have Peter Yan.
I really agree with you.
So good. He has such good boxing, like his hands, the way he's able to flow it in and out of it. When he fought Corey Sandhagen, that was a great fucking fight. He launched that spinning back fist and just sent him
into a left hook.
Yeah, dude, it was so cool, bro. Like the variety and like the the fluidity in which he's able to construct these combinations is just insane. The only thing,
the way they
this
look,
is the downside. This is why he's 10. Hold on, this is why he's 10 is because he just he takes too long to get started. Like first round, he's like a computer.
Not a good third round fighter.
He's like a computer where he just like analyzes, takes things in, and then he's gonna pick up the pace. Like he's a 5-round fighter. He's like a Nick Diaz. If he has 5 rounds, I would say he's almost always gonna win.
Yeah,
it's these 3-rounders that get him. Like, I mean, when he fought Sean O'Malley, who's also on this list.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. Sean O'Malley, he's really fucking good.
He's definitely on my list.
But I think that fight, I think he just won it, just barely. But I have no problem with Sean winning either. It was just such a good fucking fight between two very, very high level strikers. That bantamweight division, it's just like
stacked.
Yes, it's just, dude.
Shark Tank.
It's just like lightweight and featherweight. It's that those 3 are just, oh my god. Whoever
can become triple champ in the bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight divisions, I think will be the greatest of all time.
I don't think that will ever be done.
I agree.
Mainly,
but would you not agree with that though?
No, I agree.
If someone did that,
I think it just mainly just comes down to the weight, dude. Just trying to get. You would have to be like a 45er and then go down to 35. That's like the only way. You could not be a lightweight and then work your way down.
No, you couldn't be a bantam. You don't think you could be a bantamweight and work your way up?
Well, it's just.
I feel like that's easier than coming from the middle and going down. Here's the thing,
though, is that if you're talking about lightweight, you said lightweight.
Yeah.
Dude, lightweight, that you're gonna be going against killers, bro.
Yeah.
Killers, people that are just bigger, stronger, taller. I just don't see it. Especially with Islam being the champion right now. No, it's impossible. Anyways, go to your 10.
Yeah. For 10, actually, I'm just gonna read it in order. It might not be exactly how I would rate them. Because also I did forget to put Peter Yan on there. That he's definitely one I agree on. Also, very under.
So you have no issue with him being.
No, not at all. Because also he has very. I think a thing that you're missing is he has very underrated Muay Thai.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like the variety in which he's able to just have his fluidity.
So good,
strikes. It's just so good,
so beautiful. And you have to understand with strikers, one of the things that makes them a good striker is also how pretty it looks when they do it.
Yes.
And there's a certain beautiful brutality when Peter Yan throws his punches with bad intentions. He's just a motherfucker. Those damn Russians. But at number 10, I have Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane, really?
Okay, I knew you were gonna say this because I know you don't like him.
Hold on, no, it's not him. It's just the heavyweights to me. Outside of like 2 or 3, and that's including John Jones, Tom Aspinall.
I actually have Tom Aspinall on this list too. You better not say shit about Tom Aspinall on this list.
He's not on mine. I feel like you're gonna be like. I feel like once I say mine, you're gonna be like, well, actually, that kind of makes sense.
Probably,
anyways, but to me, it's just I feel like there's a little bit more cans in the heavyweight division.
Okay, but the reason I put Tom in there is because I think you can agree as a heavyweight, he's fucking.
Oh no,
fast.
he's really fast,
and
he's
also you. I just don't. I just feel like I don't think you. Him knocking out Sergey Pavlovich in the way that he did in the first round.
I understand that.
A man that was on a tear.
The thing about him, though, is
I don't know,
heavyweights, bro. It's the heavyweights.
I get what you mean. There's not
when you go down to like the low. I would say like 85 and below. Just the technique that you need, that you you need that if you're gonna be in the top 5. You need high level technique and IQ. And the heavyweights, you don't. I mean, we saw the Beast himself fight for a title. He was able to get there. You know what I mean? So like, it's.
Oh, you're talking about Derek Lewis?
Yeah. I just went by his nickname. But anyways.
Isn't it the Black Beast?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said the Beast.
Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're hyping too much on the nickname here.
Okay,
I'm
you're
just
right.
more saying of like the level of strikers that you need to be in the lower classes.
Hey, put some respect on Derek Lewis's name, though.
Hold on. No, that's not what I'm trying to say here. That's
disrespectful. Actually, the list of heavy hitters is a whole other list.
Yeah, that's a whole other list.
I will say
if we're talking about heavy hitters, he's at the top. I mean, he has the most knockouts in UFC history. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. Anyways, I'm gonna go into my number 9, and I have Izzy at number 9.
I actually don't have Izzy on my
See,
list.
this is what I'm talking about. I knew it. I knew as soon as that he's gonna be like, oh yeah, that kind of bump.
See, but
to me,
you want to know why I'm not
see,
counting him right now? Is because he's just been out.
Well, that's why I have him at number 9.
Okay.
He's still a very high level striker.
I agree. I'm not saying he's not.
That's why he's lower on the list. That's why he's at 9, and that's also what Peter Yan.
I think you put him down lower on the list because lately you just.
Oh no, I've been hating on Izzy. I'm like, bro, I just don't like the whole mentality that he's had. Like his press conference with Dricus Duplessis was just so cringy. He's like, I'm gonna show you who you are.
Okay.
Like, what does that even?
Do you want to know why?
His response is so perfect.
Yeah, I agree, but like. Izzy's a part of this generation where I was just talking about this with you earlier about us, where the nerd has evolved. When you teach a nerd how to fight and you give him confidence, he's gonna say the dumbest shit ever. So if you look back at any of the shit Izzy has said, it has always been cringe. But it's the fact that he's always been this motherfucker that nobody has been able to fuck with. Mm-hmm. That you kind of let it happen.
But see, do
you not remember when he was like, and then he's gonna fall like the Twin Towers?
No, I agree.
Yeah, you know
but see, the thing is though, is that like I said in a previous pod, is that he got too complacent around that. When he went up to light heavyweight,
I don't disagree.
That's when he really had his downfall to me in terms of like his killer instinct. Essentially, took a really big dig. Now he did get it back. He knocked out Alex Pereira in the rematch.
But I would argue Alex Pereira forced that shit out of him. But there's something. Hold on. But it was
a dog against.
There is something to be said though. If all the champion is doing is just jabbing you and leg kicking you, and there's not much you can do to negate that, then maybe you don't deserve to be champion. Maybe the middleweight division did deserve.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that that's the reason why he's really low on.
No, I agree. Number 9. Also, intrusive thought: if every single nerd just decided to pick up combat sports, we'd have less school shooters, honestly. But we would have more nerds with confidence, and we would have way more dudes saying cringy shit.
True.
But there's a give and take, honestly. Yeah. I'm just saying.
So who you have your number 9?
We just talked about him. Our boy Tommy Aspinall.
Okay. So your list hasn't adjusted now at all with Peter Yan and Izzy going into the mix here.
Look,
because in my opinion, those two automatically kicked out just by those two.
No, I mean I'm not saying I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I should have.
I'm just reading the list off as I go.
Okay, I should have just said that he was an honorable mention. That's what I should have said.
Okay,
like if he was at 11 spot, if there was an 11 spot, like if I did 15 or 20, he's number 11. Tom Aspinall's number 11.
Okay, I'll take that. And no, I absolutely agree with everything you said. I would absolutely move those down in rankings. To be fair, I did kind of put up this list last minute. I did,
I gave him like 3 days notice.
He did. He's like, I want to do this. So I was like, oh, it's perfect. Who do you have?
For number 8?
Yeah.
I have Sean Strickland at number 8.
I was gonna put Sean on my fucking list, but I did it.
He's won me over. Let's say this. He's won me over with just the frequency in which he spars. I'm someone that's very much against hard sparring. I think it should be really ramped up towards. I guess I'm more traditional. It should be more ramped up as the fight camp progresses, and also depends on where you are in your career.
It's very aggressive, actually.
You know what I mean? So if you're like
you hit
in your
him
30s,
and then he's just like,
no, that is not true. Because my whole mentality is you hit as hard as you want to get hit, and I prefer to play. If we're playing, because when you're playing, then you're like, that's the time where I can try this spinning heel kick. I can try this spin heel uppercut. You know what I mean? Like you can try some wild stuff. But if you get into a fight, you're like, oh, I'm going to my bread and butter here. You know what I mean? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. But like, I really like that also I had to put him above Izzy because he fucked up Izzy.
Yeah.
I mean, he put a masterclass on that dude. So that's why he's at number 8, and that's why he's above Izzy.
My number 8 is Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards.
I think his striking is really clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's really beautiful. I think he's really quick. I think he is definitely probably one of the best strikers in the UFC right now.
He's good.
I think that maybe if you just put the gas in the pedal, I think if you just put,
that's what my issue is.
I think he'd be on the money. But also, again, like if you can't really do anything to negate his type of striking, then
But here's my counter to this.
What is your counter?
My counter is that I feel like if you're one of those dudes, you're one of those strikers, you kind of gotta fuck up some dudes. Like I was just talking about with Sean Strickland. He's fucked up some dudes. Izzy's fucked up some dudes.
Yeah, but Sean Strickland even said his last fight with Costa was fucking boring, and it was.
Oh no, it was. I'm not trying to defend
he
that.
should, and there's something to say with some of the hard sparring that he's put out. There is that criticism where is that at actual fight night? Mm-hmm. But again, you don't really want to get hit. At the end of the day, it's a ruthless game. It's a ruthless.
Well, they did the whole thing with his mouthpiece. He's like the
least hit.
Yeah, least hit
fighter.
Sparring.
Yep, that's fucking insane.
But see, the reason why he's so high on my list is because of what he did to Izzy and how, like I said, Izzy's number 9, Strickland's number 8. That was a very close one for me, but I had to give Strickland a higher edge because he did it to Izzy. And I also hold Izzy in high regard because what he did previous in kickboxing and his whole come up in the beginning of the UFC was something special. Yeah, I mean that shit was captivating. You know what I mean?
Who's your next one?
My next one, my phone keeps fucking shut off, is Islam Makhachev. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I don't like that at all. Actually.
Well, okay. Here, let me give you some reason why I think.
Okay.
Number one, the very first reason is his first fight with Volkanovski. That fight is so goddamn good, so high level, so technical.
I don't disagree.
I understand that Islam he can grapple. I get that.
He's a crotch sniffer.
But when he's on the feet, especially in that Dustin Poirier fight, I love myself DP. His boxing is clean, but I can't lie, he was getting the better of Dustin Poirier. I only gave Dustin Poirier 1 round for sure. I gave him the 4th round. That was it. Or maybe it was the 3rd, actually. Yeah. But I gave him 1. Other than that, he was getting hit. He was getting clipped. He was getting stunned. And I think it also has to do with the levels that he's showing clear steps to be actively becoming a better striker, which I hold in high regard. I mean, dude, he's in the most talented, rich division possible. He's in lightweight. It's just, dude, the top 15 are sharks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Most divisions is top 10. Yeah. This division historically has always been full of just absolute killers, and I think he's stepped up his game. I mean, that head kick that he landed on Volkanovski was something special. So, and he dropped Charles Oliveira with the left hook, or it was a right hook, he's southpaw. But you know what I mean? So that's why he's very high on my list. He didn't crack the top 5, but man, he can only get better from here, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't just. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
My next one is Stephen Thompson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
go ahead.
I feel like that's self-explanatory.
No, he is. I'm just I'm a little. Hold on. Spoiler. I'm a little shocked he's this low. Oh, that's how I think he's one of the best fighters to never win a championship.
Look. Again, I didn't make this list at the last minute, but I'm just going based off people that I know when they are up on their feet. They pretty much always usually have the advantage on their feet. Yes. And we can always agree, anyone that fights Stephen Wonderboy Thompson on the feet is gonna have a rough night. They just
the karate blitz is just so hard to predict and understand. Their distance control. This is why I have him higher on my list. Okay. Because I've when I was training, there was someone in my gym that was for a short period of time. He came in to train with us. Like he was an instructor. He was a karate base. He was the most annoying, difficult person to spar with because it's just I don't understand. I can't even comprehend the distance management that they have. They can
cover.
It's
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and it's fucking annoying.
It's annoying. That's why they can move their legs in a way where you're like, fucking how?
I know it's because they're completely, straightforward. Yeah. They're not standing in a traditional stance. But I'm just saying, for me, if I tried to replicate it, I just couldn't do it that well. You know what I mean? Like the distance that they're able to cover. It's also, usually karate fighters are a little bit more lengthy. They have some, reach in terms of, their arms width, and then they have usually really long legs. So.
Yeah. What's your next one?
So my next one, I have Ilia Topuria at number 6.
He's coming up on my list.
Dude, Ilia, I've the first time I ever found out about him was when he knocked out that one dude that does like the whole rolling shit. What's his name?
Ryan Hall.
That's the first time I ever found out. It was so satisfying, bro.
So satisfying.
So satisfying. One of the best knockouts.
Hold on, we have to explain Ryan Hall really quickly as a fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and for those of you who don't know, jiu-jitsu is very prominent. Like, you're very good on your back. Mm-hmm. You're very good with chokes. So a jiu-jitsu guy essentially loves being on his back. Anyways.
He's a bottom.
Yeah. And he's on bottom too. But essentially his game plan was always kind of do weird flips going onto your back.
He'll go for your ankles.
Yeah, and like, you know, there's lots of submissions from various different ways in jiu-jitsu that he's like an amazing jiu-jitsu practitioner.
Yeah.
Does that translate well to MMA?
And to me, it just goes.
You have to
be well versed.
You have to. In this day and age of MMA, if you knew anything from back in the day, it used to be like jiu-jitsu versus boxing, et cetera, et cetera.
It was all specialists. And
exactly.
He's one of the specialists.
Exactly. And maybe back then he would have been champion, but like now you need everything. Mm-hmm. That's how far MMA has evolved, and. Man, Ilia Topuria just kind of. First of all, he's amazing.
Yes,
jiu-jitsu. He's amazing at grappling.
I've became a big fan of Ilia. I have UFC Fight Pass. I went back, watched all his fights. I didn't even know he was a black belt on the ground. And dude, his first fight in the UFC, dude, the scrambles in that fight were insane. And he has really clean boxing. I mean. Dude, what he did to Volkanovski, he kept his base, pushed him up against the cage. Like, he just kept it. Because Volk, there's one thing about Volk that I've always noticed. He'll do this whole lean back. And Ilia just timed where he was going to be, not where he was at that moment. And that's why he got the knockout. So that's why he's very high on my list. I mean, he's had some really good performances in the UFC. And if he beat Max Holloway somehow... Dude,
respect.
I mean,
and you know what? If he took out Volk and Max in the same year, that's a legacy.
That's the fight to make.
Ilia, you need to do it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. Then you can go up and challenge Islam because somebody needs to be.
You need at least 2 title defenses, in my opinion.
Before you move up, I think you need 3.
I'm not going to argue there. But
I think you need.
To me, 3. The bare minimum is 2.
Ed, but that's also including having you win the title. Yeah. So that's 4 championship bouts that you have under your. I feel like that is the best way to do it,
and especially in a division that's fucking stacked. That division's stacked. Yeah. I got to remind you that
because you need to be able to prove that you're worthy of that because so much of this has come from Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, let me just win this title, not defend it. Let me go up. You know, and I also
hold on, real quick. In defense of Conor, he got the interim and then he got the undisputed. So to me, that those two. But he did not defend the lightweight championship.
And also, he didn't defend the featherweight either.
No, what I'm saying though is that he got the interim. Yeah. Then he got the undisputed. Okay. That's why I'm like, that's kind of the title defense.
There is something to be said too that I don't think everybody who wants to move up to be double champ is immediately on a Conor McGregor status. Because we all know Conor McGregor is just that fucking name at the end of the day. And at that time, too, he was the fucking guy. Mm-hmm. So, I hate to say it, but some of these guys just aren't on that level yet. They still need to earn it. And that's why I'm saying 3 title defenses. That's enough to earn your mark and you be able to get those big M's, you know, and get that super fight. That's just me personally. I feel like 2 is. I don't know, man.
Well, I was just saying 2,
but I get what you're saying.
I was like bare minimum. So who do you have at number 6 then?
I have Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley at number 6. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, and honestly, I think, especially since his Cheeto Vera fight,
he fucked him up. Like,
that was a 50-43. Mm-hmm. That was a fucking home run. That was like. Ridiculous. I thought it was going to be competitive. It was not. Yeah, honestly, because he went at it for 5 rounds, and he proved to me like, oh, he can do this for 5 rounds. If it's his type of fight. Because here's the thing, we know he's predominantly a striker, right?
Oh no, he's
so
yeah.
If he couldn't do 5 rounds like that and he held the belt, it's only a matter of time before someone else takes it. This gives me a little more confidence in him to retain the belt just a little longer. I still think he's gonna spark out Marab, honestly, because the thing with Sean is when he hurts you, he's gonna hurt. He has that killer instinct. He has that killer instinct.
Yes.
I don't know, dude. And plus, I kind of want him to knock out Henry Cejudo. I think that'd be nice, but I don't think Henry deserves a title shot. Henry doesn't deserve a title shot.
Anyways, my number 5 is Stephen Thompson.
You already kind of explained it too.
I have him so high. Like
disagree.
I said, his distance management.
And he was a kickboxer.
I'll never forget the very first time I ever watched him. I don't remember who it was against, but he threw his lead kick as a question mark over the dude's shoulder, hit him right in the chin.
Slapped him in the face.
Just out cold. Slumped.
Dude, and
so I have him at number 5, one of the best fighters in the UFC to never win a championship.
Fun fact, when he was on the kickboxing circuit, he was in the same kickboxing circuit as Caleb Plant.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they know each other really well.
Oh, I do remember you telling me this. Yeah. There was no money in kickboxing. That's why he went to boxing.
Yeah, because Caleb Plant said that he was really going into boxing to help better his kickboxing. Which I think it adds up for sure.
Yeah.
And dude, somewhere out there in another alternate universe, we could have had a MMA fighter that was Caleb Plant. If you think about it,
that's kind of crazy. I actually think he might have been better.
Dude, his. I saw some of his kickboxing. It was fucking clean, bro. Like, yeah, I think he would have been. I wouldn't doubt in my mind that in an alternate universe we were making this list and he'd probably be on it. I genuinely believe that.
Full sport here.
Yeah.
So who do you have at number 5? Because I've already touched on Stephen Thompson earlier.
I have Ilya. I just it just goes back to I love his boxing base. You know me, I love strikers, but also just the way he always keeps his hands up. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, super
his
technical.
Recovery time, like I love the fight. The short fight he took on short notice at lightweight when he got rocked. Fucking head kicked. He looked like he was done.
Yeah, he looked like he was done.
Mouthpiece kept coming out of the mouth, and I gotta give it to him. He kept fighting.
Fight,
he fought his way out, and then he brutally got the knockout.
Yeah,
like
brutally
spectacular. That's probably one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think he's finished like 90% of his opponents. So, like I said, he does things to just set you up to where he wants you to be. It's so good. And he's like, and honestly, where he is, he's like, take me down to a black belt.
Yeah,
like it's so.
He's so good everywhere,
yes.
And that's where if he defends the title successfully a couple times, I think he can give Islam a lot of problems. Yeah. Dude, because if he submits Max, that's never been done. That hasn't been done since Dustin Poirier.
Yeah. And I told him a while ago, one of the best bases, in my opinion, is wrestling and boxing. He kind of has it inverted. He has boxing and then jiu-jitsu, which I'm in full support of. I think it's such a good base.
That's so weird,
I think boxing is one of the most underrated bases to have. Like, obviously, you want a good leg kick, and he does have a really good leg kick. But just the distance management and able to set up things, I think, is very good. But at number 4, I have my boy, my OG, someone I've known. I've watched his entire fucking career.
Where do I feel like I know who this is?
Max Holloway. At number 4.
He's higher up on my list.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've watched his entire career. His fucking, again, his distance management. Him able to keep a pace. It's just, that's mainly his thing. He has like that Diaz type pressure. He's just gonna put it on you. I just rewatched Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Dude, that was actually a closer fight than I remember.
1 or
it being.
2?
The second one. That was actually a closer fight than I remember it being.
It was. That's why I said if he came back, I low-key do not think Max is the fight to make because we saw him being outstruck by Islam. What do you think is gonna happen with Max? At the end of the day, this is going to be the young man beating the veteran. I love DP. I just don't like it.
Just to go on to DP real quick, I just want him to fight someone that's from his era.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I think Justin Gaethje 3 makes so much sense.
Yeah, I'm all for it because I want to see that get back.
Yeah. He was winning that fight.
There's no way.
Okay, well, who do you have at number 4 then?
I have Rafael Fiziev.
Really?
I have him. Yeah.
Wow. He's not even in my top 15.
I know he's not because you don't know much about him. You don't know. Yeah, but you don't know a lot about fighting.
I don't think anyone. I don't think. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, let me know down in the comments. I don't think anyone would have him in their top 15.
It's because they don't see it like I do.
Okay, explain it. Because I'm appalled at the moment.
Well, dude, you have to consider the man is a fucking multi-world champion in Muay Thai, and the fact that he was actually able to successfully transition. You also have to look at the RDA fight. Like the RDA fight, even though he kind of was down on the scorecards, and he really had to dig deep too. He got the knockout in like spectacular fashion. When he needed to. He did that thing where you and I both know, like, look, if it's a close fight, if you think there's a slight chance that you're losing in that last round, you need to give it your all. You need to leave it all out there so you can walk away being happy that you know that you gave it your all. And you know he's the constant fighter that does that. I have a fighter on the here that I think you're gonna be like, what? Mainly because he beat Rafael, and I never saw that coming. And I also took into account his career and how far it's come from where he started to where he is now, even though he's not particularly in a good place right now. I'm not going to spoil it, but anyways, I will defend Rafael Faisev as one of the best strikers in the UFC right now.
I mean, maybe I need to do more research on him.
I think you need to, if you watch his Muay Thai fights, and if you go on Fight Pass and watch his fights, you are going to be like, okay. Yeah. Well, do I think he's an overall good? No, he has things he's lacking. You know, he's obviously, like I said, RDA had made it a close fight because of his grappling, but he knew he was a potential to be really like not go his way. Did what he needed to do, and Rafael Faisev is just one of those fighters too that he trains in the same camp as Peter Yan. Just so you know, he's just one of those guys that I will watch anytime they fight. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, at number 3, I have Alex Volkanovski. I don't think there needs to be much said.
No.
He's
not on my list, actually. I feel bad.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. He had just this other dude that's a no-name out here that's not going to be on anyone's top 15. And he doesn't even have Alex Volkanovski. And he called me someone that doesn't know fighting. First of all, my boy Max, I love him. He fucking got schooled. He lost 3 times. That third time was in a fucking ass beating. Like that
third time is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen from a champion.
And he went toe to toe with Islam at a weight class that he is not that's not his natural weight class. And he stuffed the takedown and kept it on the feet. Now I think I only had him winning 2 rounds. I thought Islam won that fight for sure. But man, he fucking. I thought he won. I did. I thought he won the last 2. When the championship rounds,
he never glazes the Dagestanis like this, so that's why I'm appalled.
But see, here's the thing though, is that Islam has made me be like, all right, because this is my thing. Go back to fucking Khabib. Khabib irritates the shit out of me. I'll never forget one strike that I saw him. He threw like an overhand and then tried to do like a flying at the same time. He's like doing like this. I'm like, bro, stop. Someone just fucking uppercut this dude.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I got you started, didn't I? I got you started.
He knows how to fucking get me going.
I know how to grind his gears.
I need to glaze Volkanovski because it's not one of my favorite fighters. I respect anyone that does. But, I mean, I can't not respect things he's done. Like, he's fought the who's who in his division. He cleared it out. You know what I mean? And he's lost to somebody, Ilia Topuria, that's also on my top 10 list. So if Ilya can beat him again or beat Max, he's only going to go higher. Alex Volkanovski, I mean, he's just so fucking good. His leg kicks, I'll leave it at that. He's just really fucking good.
I don't disagree.
He implements his game like no other.
Okay.
This is number 3, by the way.
I don't think you're going to like this one.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't like the last one. You didn't even have Volkanovski on there. Volkanovski better be this fucking pick is what I'm saying here. He doesn't know fighting.
Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
Why? What is that reaction?
I don't know.
Okay, let me explain. Because of where he started, we all know Justin Gaethje's like, look, he's an exciting fighter. He's just gonna brawl it out, though. You know, you have to stick. You know, kind of go through the fire with him a little bit, and you find his chin. That was the general consensus, right?
Yeah.
And then he ruins everyone's dream by basically killing Tony Ferguson. Not killing him, but, killing the myth of El Cucuy and killing any hope for a Khabib Ferguson fight. And I just didn't see that coming. Because I thought the guy that fought Michael Johnson, that fought Eddie Alvarez, that fought Dustin Poirier the first time, was going to come in and fight Tony Ferguson. And that guy would have lost to Tony Ferguson. But that is not the guy that showed up. That he was precise. He put on one of the worst ass beatings I've ever seen live. Not only that, but the fact that it was in an empty arena and you heard every single punch thrown and you looked at Tony's face. There was a saying after you fought Tony in his prime that you never come out looking the same, right? Do you remember that?
Yes.
There was a picture of 12 people that Tony Ferguson fought, and they looked like they just went through a meat grinder. Tony Ferguson came out of a Justin Gaethje fight looking like he fought a prime Tony Ferguson. And that says a lot. I feel like people are not giving that enough credit. And also this quick turnaround that he made to just being more technical. An old Gaethje probably would have lost to Michael Chandler.
Okay.
An old Gaethje would have lost to DP again. And even though that knockout loss did hurt me, you know, I got to give him props. He threw something. He knew he was hurt. He knew he had to really, again, bite down on his mouthpiece and just do something. And he got the knockout, you know. And yeah, dude, that's all I have to say. And also, he beat Rafael Faisav, which that was another fight where I'm like, this is gonna be the fight that takes Gaethje out of the top 5. And he came out and, you know. But I didn't know he was going to lose to Max. I literally had to convince him to be like, dude,
I was worried for my boy.
He was.
But mine was more worried about just the weight. That's really what it was, the power and everything. But he did it properly. He did it the way that you should, which I'm very happy about. I would say that
What do you think about what I said, though?
It's just that I'm not disagreeing with it. I just think on my list, you know, creating to my list, I just think that the fighters that I've already listed off and the ones that we only got 2 more, they're just better than him. I think that's just what it comes down to. Because here's the thing. When it comes to the best strikers in the UFC, to me, you have to put on performances. Like, you got to get it done.
Oh, like a one-sided beatdown?
Yes, but here's the thing though with Gaethje, he's only done it for half of his career. You know, you gotta take into account those early ones. You know what I mean? He had some really bad wars where he fucking got rocked. You know what I mean? He lost some fights that maybe if he had this mentality, he wouldn't have lost. You know what I mean? So to me, I just can't. He's not even in my top 10. He might not even been in my top 15. I don't know. I would have to
top 15. I have to argue.
I didn't say I didn't. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm just saying that I felt like I said, I did 3 days for this video. I prepared for this video 3 days. This dude did it in like 90 minutes. Less than that. I'm just saying that I really went through strikers and I was like, okay, who's done this? Who's done that?
Okay,
anyways.
To be fair, I haven't argued against any of your claims.
And that was your number 3. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, though, is that my number 3 is Alex Volkanovski, and he had Justin Gaethje. I mean, I don't think it's a contest. I think everyone in the MMA community should agree with me. Alex Volkanovski is a clear, better striker. The performances he's
then let him fight.
I would love that fight.
I've been thinking about that, dude, actually.
Well, yeah. He called out DP and Charles Oliveira.
I am actually 100% all for those fights.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. Anyways, on to my number 2, Sean O'Malley. I have him very high on my list.
Wow.
It goes back to what I was saying. He's put on master classes against dudes. And
that's crazy that you have him higher than Max.
That's what I said. That's
crazy. But that's sacrilegious, actually. I won't allow that. How the hell do you? Don't get me wrong. I think Sean O'Malley deserves to be on the list. Okay,
sorry. This is let me explain my reasoning.
Okay.
Volk. That's the reason. Sean O'Malley hasn't had any performance like that. He hasn't been schooled on the feet. He hasn't been put into just a realm where he couldn't compete. Max did. He did. He lost to Volkanovski bad, bro. I mean,
are you
bad.
Saying O's matter?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it goes back to what I was saying. The performance you got to put on against other elite strikers, that shit matters to me. That's why I have Volk above Max. That's just what it is. I love Max. He's my boy. I've watched his entire fucking career. But I also got to be subjective and know where he actually falls on the list. He can't be above Alex Volkanovski. Volkanovski's beating these dudes.
Okay, but
I can't have Sean O'Malley below Volkanovski because Volkanovski is coming off of 2 bad back-to-back knockouts. And that has not happened to Sean O'Malley. I have my own gripes about Sean O'Malley. He knows this. I have my own gripes about him. But as a striker, dude, this dude has put on some master fucking classes,
I feel like
man.
you're not taking into account the caliber of opponent.
Hold on. We were just talking about the bantamweight division.
Hold on.
One of the
Shut
most stacked divisions ever.
Let me talk.
Don't even.
Let me talk. Name one person out of the top 10 that Sean O'Malley has put on a masterclass performance right now.
Chito Vera.
Oh, fuck. Okay, but that's now that he's champion. Other than that,
well, when he was coming up, he knocked out fucking Eddie Wineland out cold. He was ranked like number 14 at the time.
Yeah, but Eddie Wineland was the talent of his career. Even I know that.
Yeah, he was, but here's the thing. It goes back to what he's saying. If you're going against that dude, what he said about Tony Ferguson, if you're going against Tony Ferguson at that point in their career, you're supposed to do that to them. You're supposed to knock them.
Are you talking about like Patty?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Patty Pillin should have knocked the fuck out of Tony Ferguson.
And
he didn't. That goes back to my point. It acknowledges.
That's crazy because I have Patty Pillin as my number 2.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My number 2 is Max. It's Max. I think number 2. I just gotta say he doesn't even have Volkanovski on this list. I don't.
You know what I mean?
Because he's out. Let him rest. I'm talking about current active strikers.
They are active.
I know, but like he's out right now. The reason I didn't even consider. Okay, yeah, that's the main reason why I didn't consider him and Izzy, to be honest. They've been out for fucking so long.
I understand
and
that.
I don't expect them to be in. But I mean, okay, I get it. You did have more time to prepare this list, to be fair.
But I gave him equal time. That's the thing, though.
You did, but you should have gave me a week.
Oh my god.
But anyways, I don't know, dude. I feel like I get what you're saying about Sean, but Cheeto was. Oh man, I don't know, dude.
But see, it's not just Cheeto. Also, what he did to win the title, to put on those type of performances, to land the strike that you need to land, especially when the other guy knows what your game plan is. Mm-hmm. He knows he doesn't want to go to the ground with you. You know
I
what I
just
mean?
think it's crazy, dude, because Max has just had way better performances in the top 10 division, and I think that's why he's higher on my list.
It's just that where they're at in terms, like if we did this like when Max
you're not gonna like my number 1.
Hold on, I don't think I am. If we were talking about Max when he was right before he's about to fight Volkanovski, I would have been like, yeah, dude, he's one of the best fucking strikers in the fucking world. He probably would have been my number 1. But I just can't overlook the 3 losses, man. 3-0? 3-0? Brings a tear to my eye. You think this is happy for me? I'm just being subjective here.
I don't know. I just think that's wild. And you do you, man.
And I'm just saying with Sean O'Malley, he's everyone he's fought.
He loves everything about Sean.
I don't like everything about Sean. That's what I'm saying. I'm being very subjective here. Anyways, get to your number 1 because I feel like I'm gonna fucking hate it.
No, you go to number 1 first.
I feel like it's obvious at this point.
I actually
have the ones that I've listed. Although he doesn't even have Volkanovski on his, so I don't even know. I have Alex Pereira.
I have him as my number 1 too.
I have him as number 1.
So that one we're like both boom. Okay.
What he's done.
We both agree. Yep.
We glazed him in our last video.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, what this guy's done in 18 months is just fucking insane. No one's ever done it. Mm-hmm. Ever. No one's had this much of a rise. And just the list of champions on this list. Izzy, Strickland, you know what I mean? Then moving up a weight class and fighting
Jan
the
Blachowicz,
dude.
beating Jan Blachowicz.
You know what I mean? Like, the things that he's done in a short amount of time.
Jamal Hill, Yuri that's...
Like, dude, it's 5, I think it's like 5 or 6 world champions in his last 5-6 fights. Ridiculous.
And something I don't know a lot of people are giving as much credit to is this man is a 2-division champ in a completely other combat sport.
Yes.
On top of the one he's currently
Crazy,
in.
Dude.
Meaning he went to kickboxing, fought at middleweight, won the belt, fought at light heavyweight, won the belt there, beat everybody he needed to beat in his ranking system, then go to the UFC and basically do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. And now wants a 3rd belt. With the third belt.
Give it to him.
And I think he can get it.
Give it to him. Give it to him. Because he's a very good example of someone that has like a really funny personality, but is also like a character. But it's just kind of, I don't know, man. I fuck with Alex. It is so crazy how the MMA community has all turned, and it's like we're all on Alex's side and we're not really on Izzy's side.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Izzy fan, and I'm like, do I even like you anymore?
I don't think you do.
I don't think I do.
I don't think you do.
I really don't. And I'm a huge fan of Alex Pereira. I almost thought about buying his shirt on the UFC website the other day.
I'm gonna buy their full. He does collabs with. I don't know if you've heard of them. Full Violence on Instagram.
No, I haven't.
They're gonna come out with the DP collab, so I'm definitely gonna.
I'm definitely gonna
get that.
But I think it's pretty obvious Alex Pereira is number one. I mean, and
it could be recency bias, but we don't give a fuck.
I actually don't. And also, I don't think it's recency bias.
Okay,
like you said, I know we weren't including Pryor. You know, for the most part in this was mainly just straight UFC fighters. I can't overlook what he did in Glory, like what he was saying. I just can't. Doing that, being a good ass striker, going against those dudes, and then coming here and doing the exact same thing to what he just said. I just can't, bro. I mean. What he's done in such a short time.
That might be probably the best combat sports athlete of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck you, Henry Cejudo. You are not.
Yeah, fuck Henry Cejudo. Jesus, I fucking hate that guy so much.
Didn't he win like a gold medal or something?
Yeah, it belongs to Marab though.
Hey, but you know what? Oh my god, that's so true.
Yeah,
that's actually insane. How do you pick up an Olympic gold wrestler and carry him across the cage and then slam him on the ground? That's some gangster ass shit. That's some gangster ass shit, bro. Marab is really, he could really give O'Malley problems. He really could. But I think that's what makes this matchup really interesting, and I think that for sure, thankfully, Marab is the next guy.
Yeah, I think clearly mine was the superior list here. You know, I didn't
disagree with any of the points you made.
And I completely disagreed with yours.
Yeah. Besides the number one.
Yeah, besides number one.
Yeah.
But I think we're full agreement with that. And also, like, you know, with my list, I think if you move, like, maybe one or two, I think just for sure, Volk has to be above Max. I just can't look past that 3-0. I also did have Stephen Thompson higher on my list. You know, I had Peter Yan on my list. Izzy. Just to run through real quick, I had Peter Yan, Izzy, Sean Strickland, Islam Makhachev, Ilya Topuria, Stephen Thompson, Max Holloway, Alex Volkanovski, Sean O'Malley, and the GOAT himself.
Yeah, I feel really bad now that you're going through all this. I'm like, I really should have fucking studied up on it.
Yeah. This dude had 3 weeks to prepare. He ain't about
3 weeks?
No.
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days. That's more. That's like 3 weeks, essentially, in fighting terms. Yes. Like, yeah, I can get a full camp in.
You're crazy.
Anyways, I think that's a good place to end it, right?
Yeah, man.
If you guys are new here, like, comment, subscribe, all those things. We post full podcasts every Saturday and videos in between as long as he remembers to post it.
And I will sometimes.
All right. Peace, guys.
Later.